3, Stage 5, Lesson 69. Already. Already. Very good. Has the lesson already finished? Has the lesson already finished?
No, the lesson hasn't already finished.
Very good.
It's still in progress.
Are you already able to speak English without making any mistakes? Are you already able to speak English without making any mistakes?
No, I'm not already able to speak English without making any mistakes.
Yeah.
Yet.
Are we already in spring? Are we already in spring?
No, we're not in the spring yet.
Yeah, very good. But we're still
in
winter. Have we already studied book 1 of the Callan method? Have we already studied book 1 of the Callan method?
Yes, we have already studied book 1 of the Callan method.
Very good. Thrown. What's the paradigm of the verb to throw? What's the paradigm of the verb to throw?
The paradigm of the verb to throw is thrown, threw, thrown.
Excellent. Have you ever thrown anything away which was worth a lot of money by mistakes? Have you ever thrown anything away which was worth a lot of money by mistake?
Yes, I have thrown something which was worth a lot of money by mistake.
Very good. Now, what was it?
It was a watch that was broken, but it was actually worth a lot of money. It was my grandfather's watch.
Okay, all right. Ness. Reason by adding illness, tiredness, darkness. Ness. Reason by adding illness, tiredness, darkness. Very good. To form a noun from an adjective, we sometimes add the letters ness to the adjective. For example, slow, slowness. White, whiteness. Small, smallness, etc. So, how do we sometimes form a noun from an adjective? How do we sometimes form a noun from an adjective?
We sometimes form a noun from an adjective adding the word ness at the end.
Very good. When did you have your last illness? When did you have your last illness?
I had my last illness last week.
Okay. And what's the reason for tiredness? What's the reason for tiredness?
The reason for tiredness is too much work.
Exactly. What's the reason for darkness at night? What's the reason for darkness at night?
The reason for darkness at night is that the word turns a complete circle or completely around every 24 hours, which means that for half this time, one half of the word is opposite the sun, and for the other half of the time is away from the sun, and so darkness.
Very good. Alone.
Alone.
Are you alone in this room? Are you alone in this room?
No, I'm not alone
in this room. Do you live alone or with your family? Do you live alone or with your family?
I live with my family.
Do you prefer to go on holiday alone? Do you prefer to go on holiday alone?
No, I don't prefer to go on holiday alone.
Would you say expression rather opinion? Would you say expression rather opinion?
Would you say expression rather opinion?
Very good. We use the expression would you say when we ask somebody for his opinion about something. It means do you think? So when do we use the expression would you say? We
use the expression would you say when we ask somebody for their opinion.
Excellent. Would you say that a king's life was more pleasant than that of the average man? Would you say that a king's life was more pleasant than that of the average man?
Yes, I would say that a king's life is more pleasant than that of an average man.
Very good. Notice that the verb after would you say is in the past tense, or rather the subjunctive. Which tense do we use after the expression would you say?
We use the past tense or the subjunctive.
Very good. The expression would you say?
Thank you.
What would you say was the best way to remember something? What would you say was the best way to remember something?
I'll say the best way to remember something is to repeat it a lot.
Excellent. Now, anyone, someone, not anyone, who, Mr. Brown, no one. Okay. Instead of the words anybody, somebody, and nobody, we can use the words anyone, someone, and no one, or No one. What words can we use instead of anybody, somebody and nobody?
Instead of anybody, somebody, and nobody, we can say anyone.
Very good. Did anyone come into the classroom at the beginning of the lesson? Did anyone come into the classroom at the beginning of the lesson?
Yes, someone came into the classroom at the beginning of the lesson.
Who went out of this room 2 minutes ago? Who went out of this room 2 minutes ago?
No one went out of this room 2 minutes ago.
Very good. Won. What's the paradigm of the verb to win? What's the paradigm of the word to win?
The paradigm of the verb
To win is
win,
won. Very good. If you won £1 million, what would you do with it? If you won £1 million, what would you do with it?
If I won £1 million, I would buy a very expensive house.
Excellent. Borrow.
Borrow.
What's the opposite of the verb to lend? What's the opposite of the verb to lend?
The opposite of the verb to lend is to borrow.
Ought we always to give back the things we borrow? Ought we always to give back the things we borrow?
Yes, we always ought to give back the things we borrow.
Do people in fact always give back the things they borrow? Do people in fact always give back the things they borrow?
No, people in fact don't always give back the things they borrow.
Why not?
Sometimes they can, they can't, or they forget, or they don't want to.
Yes, exactly. Listen and hear. Listen and hear, then. Listen and hear, then. Very good. So, what am I doing?
You're listening to some music.
Very good. Now, I'm listening, but can I hear anything? Yes.
You can hear something.
Very good. What can I hear then?
You can hear the cars, the street, the music.
Very good. If you listened carefully, do you think you'd be able to hear the people in the next room? If you listened carefully, do you think you'd be able to hear the people in the next room?
Yes, if I listen carefully, I think I'll be able to hear the people in the next room.
Very good. Own. What's another meaning of the word own besides possess? What's another meaning of the word own besides possess?
Another meaning of the word own besides possess
is
propio.
Yes, very good. Give me an example, please.
This is my own sweater.
Excellent. Are they your own shoes you're wearing?
Yes, they are my own shoes I'm wearing.
Are all the clothes you're wearing your own, or do some of them belong to someone else? Are all the clothes you're wearing your own, or do some of them belong to someone else?
Yes, all the clothes I'm wearing are my own.
Very good. Skin. What's this?
It's your skin.
Wire, electricity. So, what do we use wire for? What do we use wire for?
We use wire to carry electricity.
Very good. Boil. How long does it take to boil potatoes until they're cooked?
Well, it depends on how strong the gas or the electricity is, but generally about half an hour.
Very good. Brick. What's the wall built of? A wall
is built of bricks.
Excellent. Also. Make a sentence using the word also, please.
I will ask her to give me some money and also some food for tomorrow.
Very good, thank you. End of lesson 69.